Right. What's up? I arrived in country April 12th. Yeah, thank you. Absolutely.
Who is your favorite cricketer in India?
Mitali Raj. Mitali Raj is my favorite. I'm consistent about that. And she's been also not only my favorite, she's my coach. So watch out.
Sir, do you see any problem coming in the Paris Olympics because two wars are still going on and Paris is not that far away?
There has been a voice also regarding the athletes from this particular country, especially the Ukraine, said that the athletes should not also be allowed to play.
Well, the IOC has made its decision that all athletes can compete, but not all nations can. And I trust France to have a safe games. I think they're prepared. We live in this world where there is terrorism, where there is conflict. But the Olympics are something special. They have not been immune to that. We saw that in Munich and other places where unfortunate acts of violence have come. But for the most part, it's a moment for humanity to stop the conflict, to pause, and to see what unites us. I remember an African member, when I was campaigning for Los Angeles to win the Olympics, said, I come from a small African country. You come from big America. But the moment I was out there on the field, it didn't matter where we were from. We were all human beings.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And men's. And it was so exciting to see an Indian-American girl in the video that we found in California who is cricket bad. And she thinks that maybe she could even be the right age to play on the team in her own hometown, bridging again India and America, cricket and the rest of the world. It's a Hollywood story.
So not only cricket, but other 4 games are also there. So what are the preparations for those games, and how is US team on those games?
For which games?
Other games apart from cricket.
Oh, the other 4 sports. Yeah, so we know that the world increasingly embraces American football. It's played in Europe. We've had games here in Asia. Lacrosse is meaningful to us because our native inhabitants of America, this was the sport they played with up to 1,000 people, and it's an amazing, dynamic, fast game. Of course, we love baseball and softball, and my message is you don't have to choose between cricket and baseball. You can love both of them. And then, of course, our last one, which is squash, is an easy, cheap thing to set up in any Olympics, and it's so dynamic. So we want to see more team sports. We're going to have a record number of athletes. We'll break every record to have more athletes in the LA Olympics, and the IOC today made an exception to be over 11,000 athletes for the first time.
So how many teams are going to participate in LA? Because
in LA, I mean, we'll have every country. For the cricket format you're talking about, the cricket format will probably have 8 teams. And LA and US will be one of it. 6 to 8 teams probably.
Sir, LA is still 5 years away, but seeing the geopolitical situation, do you see any kind of problem in the coming years, like the problem in Ukraine and Russia and the Israel?
I think when we have wars and conflict around the world, the tradition of the Olympics was the Olympic truce. That in ancient times, everybody put down their weapons to have sports unite us. And while unfortunately now sometimes the wars don't end, but for a moment, we feel like the world comes together. And so we hope this inspires people to know that peace is better than war, that participation together is better than conflict. And it doesn't matter what country you come from. When you march onto those opening ceremony fields, every human being is equal.
Sir, LA 28 has some time still, but Paris has not that much time. So how do you expect Paris games?
Well, I think Paris games are going to be fabulous. I was a breakdancer growing up. I'm so excited. Breakdancing is going to be there. It's going to be a beautiful city. From the City of Lights, in some ways, it'll be the cap of the last era and the beginning of the next. And LA will be the first games in the brand new era. And I couldn't be more excited. Mayor Hidalgo, President Macron, I've worked very closely with. We're going to actually take everything from some of the seats used in Paris and put them in Los Angeles to be inspired with some of the sports like surfing and skateboarding, climbing that started in Tokyo, continued in Paris, and now will be permanent in Los Angeles. So I think it's going to be a great games. I'm sure they're pretty stressed right now. We've got plenty of time in LA.
Mr. Ambassador, sorry.
Sure.
When did you first become aware of cricket yourself?
I mean, I knew cricket growing up, but I lived in the UK for 4.5 years when I was in graduate school. I studied in Oxford and London, and I had British friends who said, come on out. And I said, this is a really great sport. Not only do you get to go out there and play hard, and I was a baseball player, but you get a meal in the middle of it. And so I was hooked. But, you know, I think I became a real fan of it when I came here and the T20 format, because it's so fast. Most of us don't have a few days to watch a test match or even an entire 7-hour stretch for a World Cup match. But here, to see that 2 or 3 hours of unabashed fun, I'm a convert.